Good afternoon, YouTube. Here's my Lexus LS400. I haven't been here for a really long time, and neither has that thing. So today I'm going to talk about the car, what's going on with it, what's not going on with it, everything that's wrong with it. Maybe it'll answer some of your questions. I don't know, but let's get into it. All right, so I debated whether I would even bother making a video like this because it's not really an update. I kind of wanted to wait until there was maybe something happening with the car, but nothing is happening with it. So you don't need to wait until later in the video to find out if nothing is happening or something's happening. I'll tell you straight up, nothing's happening with the car. It's chilling. Reason being, this has not been a priority for me for years. It has been parked in my fiance's parents' garage for like 2 years now. So it's still protected. I still have the car. I'm not like, I know people are disappointed that they don't get to see videos of it anymore. There's a lot of people out there that have been big supporters of mine, watched all of my videos, watched the entire build series, or even people that like didn't watch it back then have gone through and kind of watched it now and never really found an end point. It is an ongoing project, and I haven't completely disappointed you guys because I still have the car and I do still plan to finish it at some point. I just have no idea when or how or whatever. Yeah, there's been like a couple different phases of like, hey, this is the plan, this is how I'm gonna finish it, this is who's doing it, and either something's fallen through or I've not committed to that. So yeah, it's still sitting like this, and I want to kind of show a couple of things in this video that can at least go along with the rest of the series of building it to clear up a lot of stuff, because this car, when it went to Destin Dapper, which hate that I even have to bring up his name because he is irrelevant, we don't care about him, I hope he never screws anybody else over again. Maybe he does, but we don't like that guy. When this car went to him, it was nowhere near ready to be painted. There was a lot of work that still needed to be done to it. And so the misconception is that I think a lot of people have assumed that since that happened, like, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago or something, it's probably longer than that at this point, it's probably like 4 years. I don't even recall, it's been so long. I think everybody thought that this car was just ready to get painted, and it's been like frustrating that I haven't taken it to someone to just have it painted. Like, why wouldn't you? And I'm gonna go over that in this video. There's a lot of things that need doing to the car before it's ready to get painted. So let's do a walk around and I'll show you guys some of those things. All right, so the newest thing that I actually did to the car was kind of finish up the skirt on this side and spray some primer on it so it looks like a whole car. And it's obviously got those panels back on the side, so like that looks half decent, but it's not. Nothing about this is correct. Like nothing fits the way that it should. I kind of just did it because I just wanted to see it. And I'll be real, a lot of the things that I've done with this car have kind of just been impulsive because I wanted to see it that little bit closer to like the vision. So the entire time that I've been building the car, there's been this vision, but the execution has not been there whatsoever. I can't not talk about this. This car had bodywork on it, and then a couple of years ago when I lived in that house with Benny and Matt, I convinced myself that I could start working on the car again, and I would go through and redo everything properly, and then I I chipped away at this and like took everything off that I could, and I just didn't do anything after that. So that's why this looks like this. It's like, I don't know, it's got like a little bit of Bondo left on there that's kind of difficult to get off. It's all kind of jagged from where I had a screwdriver and I was just sort of hammering at it. So yeah, this looks really bad, but I only did this corner because now at least you can see like where the metalwork is and what is bodywork, like compared to the other arches. So I just left that alone, and it looks terrible. It actually looks like somebody tried to do bodywork and did a really bad job, but there was bodywork and I took it off. So yeah, that's that. So now there's the question of why did I need to take the bodywork off in the first place? Well, when I did this, right, the car, there was never any intention on my part to actually do the bodywork on this car. What had happened was years and years ago, when I had this car in my shop that I was working out of, I was just killing time. The slot that I had lined up for the car to get dropped off for paint and bodywork was like pretty far off. And I was like, well, you know, what's the harm in me trying this and like learning some skills and just like seeing how I can, like, essentially going back to how I did, you know, talked about the skirts, is I just wanted it to get closer to my vision. So yeah, I started just figuring out bodywork stuff on my own, and all this is, all of it in here, that's just Bondo. It's just straight Bondo. Obviously, like, it's a metal flare and it's tubbed. It's very solid, but this right here, to get this smooth curve, is all just Bondo, and it's really bad. And jokingly, there's actually a crack right here. I was showing a buddy this and I was like, yeah, it's so solid, and I actually kicked this and put a crack in it. So yeah, you can see how solid it actually was. Yeah, all of the fenders need to have that Bondo completely stripped back, and they need to be done properly. And I am not a bodywork person. I am just a guy who has a car, who really, really wanted to see my vision. So I just sort of started figuring it out myself. And I'm not going to say that I regret doing that, because it was really, really fun for me, and it helped get me through a difficult part of my life, and I learned some skills along the way. I had a good time doing it, and I made some good content that you guys have enjoyed, and everything that I've done thus far is like incorrect. So, you know, don't learn from me unless you're seeing this video and you're like, oh yeah, Liam made a mistake. I'm not going to do that. Yes, all of the fenders need to be torn back, and they need to have maybe a little bit more metal work done, and definitely not just shit tons of Bondo. All right, so over on the passenger side now, I can kind of show a little bit of the issue with this is it's going to rub. The car's very low, the fitment's super tight, and one of the things that this really needs is it needs more reinforcement. If you see this, you know, it's pretty stiff, but look down here. Anytime I make contact, it's bowing out right here, and there is body filler in here that immediately cracks. So it's got a crack in it right there. And what I think it needs doing is it needs some like metal skeleton built in to like the inside of the fender to reinforce all of this, so that when it does take a hit, it doesn't flex, it's all solid. That actually brings me on to my next issue, which is something I've discovered from putting miles on this car, is bumper's obviously going to scrape the floor. It usually catches back here. It's just zip ties holding it on currently, which is fine. But what happens is when it makes impact, this pushes up and like pushes out. But this part right here, if there's a corner light in there, this puts pressure on the corner light and snaps it right off of the tabs that hold it in place. So I've been through like 2-3 sets of corner lights, one of them being crystal corners, which are super rare and expensive. So that's super less than ideal, and is something that needs to be looked at and figured out. Just sort of slowly making my way around the car here. There's no fog lights in here. I actually need to do more fiberglass work on the back of this bumper to make brackets to hold the fog lights in there. There used to be brackets, but years back I smoked a raccoon with the front bumper and it destroyed the fog light and the brackets. So I've got new fog lights, but fiberglass work needs to be done to that, and really this whole bumper needs a ton of fiberglass work to get it back to a point where it fits and looks good. So yeah, not great. Back on the driver's side of the car, like I mentioned, the side skirts, I pretty much just did like a finish on them just so I could visually see what it looks like, but they need to be redone. These skirts were originally a piece down here at the bottom that came up a little bit and then was sectioned into another fiberglass piece right here on this panel. And it's not bad, it looks pretty good, but it doesn't really line up with these side panels. The fitment's just a little bit wonky. Also need to figure out like a solution for hardware as well as the chrome trim going back on here. And then same thing back here. I don't know yet whether I want this to sit flush with this bottom, but this does not fit up the way that it should. So the skirts need like cutting back out, re-fiberglassing. They probably need to be fiberglass like on the car. I would love it if these could be made perfect, pull them off, make a mold, and then like just fully create new skirts from just fiberglass, because there's obviously some kitty hair, body filler, whatever in this, and it's just like that's too much weight for what these are, and once they're destroyed, they're destroyed. So making a mold would be really cool. Okay, so most embarrassing part of this, which from the outside looks great, like how this is finished, how this line is put in here for the door, it, you know, from a distance looks pretty good, and from the outside it looks pretty good, but you open this door, it's a mess. Yeah, so the inside of this is not great. It is metalwork, and then to build up this nice hard edge, it is body filler. So it's not very strong, and also the tolerances to this and the inside of the door are just so wrong. Like the moment you paint this, it's gonna be too thick that they're gonna hit each other. And you can actually see on the inside of this is where it's been making contact without there being paint on it. So yeah, not good. Needs to be stripped back and redone. Whether the metalwork needs to be redone, I don't know. I feel like a professional should probably give me their opinion on that. But it does look pretty good when it's closed. So the other piece is this right here. The inside of this door is all body filler. And as you can see, if I just give it a little bit of flex, that shit's trying to come out of there. So this needs metal, all of this. Yeah. Onto the back of the car. The rear bumper is a mess. You can see here where I just did like a very half-ass repair. I broke it because I didn't put wood down when I was coming out of my driveway, and I fixed it really shittily. So that's like that. Also, where these have been sort of radiused in on the inside, they're not finished up properly. All the corners right here, everything is all just jagged, doesn't fit properly. It's missing all of the rivets, or whatever, the thread basically in the bumper to hold it in place. So it needs solutions for hardware to hold the bumper in. This side has bolts in it, the other side has zip ties. So it doesn't fit very well. It's just kind of on there. Again, it's another thing where I'm like, I just wanted to see the vision sort of come together as close as I could, and didn't actually, like, you know, do anything finished. Back of the car, I shaved the badges, the holes. They were welded up, like plugged and shaved. They look okay. Obviously still needs to be like finished better. I have a Vleen wing, which will match the rest of the kit to go on here, and I really would like to mold it. I wish I had it with me so I could show you what it looks like, but I got that from Anonymous Styly, Hunter Weeks. Super stoked that he had that, because it's a matching wing to my kit. I've just never mounted it on and like messed with it. I've just sort of mocked it up and be like, okay, this is what I want to do with it. I want to mold it. Yeah, and we've got stock taillights in it still. I've been having some taillights built for it, which are just not done. There is no exhaust on the car right now. It's just like open header, or it's like what's left of the cats just kind of dumps out underneath the car. So it sounds horrible, and the interior is stripped out, so it's just like super loud, drones really bad. That's like one of those things that I was like, yeah, maybe I don't put an exhaust on it until the car is sort of done and painted. I don't really know why that's my decision to do that, but it needs an exhaust, and it will look so much better back here when there are some tips. I've always wanted to do like the AMG style oval tips back here, just something really clean, really subtle. OEM plus. I like to think that this car sort of looks like a Mercedes. I know you guys have seen I put a Mercedes badge on the front, which was very much a joke thing. I think some people took it seriously, but the car kind of looks like a Merc, so it's got to have AMG tips. But yeah, my license plate. This is one of the best things on the car, VIPness. And a couple of people have actually copied it. There are multiple people now that have this plate on their car or LS400. And that's fine, but I'm the OG. This was actually a quote from the Substance podcast with me and Matt, where we were talking about a car and Matt described it as having a VIP-ness to it, which obviously is hilarious. So I made it my license plate. This side of the car looks a lot more unfinished than the other side of the car, and that's because like when I primed this so long ago, I only had gray primer. I'd run out of the white primer, so that's why that looks like that. And also like kind of rushed the bodywork on this side. Inside of this is the same sort of deal as the other side, probably worse, because again it was like rushed. And then the skirts are unfinished and fit like shit, just like the other side. I don't have the panels on there. That's it, really. Like, car's not done. That's why. All right, so what's the plan? Because I've shown you all the things that are wrong with the car. You can clearly tell that it's a long way off being finished, and I'd like to finish it, but I don't know when or how that's going to be possible. So yeah, at this point in the video, this is where I just sort of tell you nothing, because I don't have anything for you. There's the car. Sorry this video gives you zero update, but I've got like a couple ideas, right? Hear me out. One of the things that I've thought about doing to help fund finishing it is doing some kind of merchandise that is drawn by me. I come up with a cool creative idea, I work on it, I make it, and then yeah, it could be like t-shirt, whatever, some prints, and yeah, sell it on a website, do a pre-order, and maybe if you guys want to support, you could buy it. I don't know, like I don't foresee, at least right now or in the near future, that I'm gonna have any kind of money coming in from something that I could actually justify spending to finish this car. And I don't have LEP anymore, it doesn't exist, I'm not doing it anymore. And I'd like to do Substance again. I would like to bring the podcast back, and I'd like to do more with that. I'm not making promises, but let me know in the comments if you guys think that it is a silly idea for me to ask for money through creating a product that is cool and selling it to you. You know, if you think that's stupid, let me know. But if you think that's cool and you would actually buy it and support because you want to see the car get done, let me know too, because that would be sweet. That's pretty much it for this video. Again, I apologize. Car's not done. At the same time, I don't, because it's my life. I've got things that fulfill me and keep me happy outside of this car. You know, that's not to say that it won't get done. It will at some point. Don't know when, don't know how. But a couple of things that I do want to mention before I cut this video off. I definitely bit off a lot more than I could chew with this car. I think that's pretty obvious. And as I've mentioned in this video a bunch of times, like I was just sort of figuring out as I go and enjoying the process and really just trying to like rush to get to a point where I could like see what my vision was. And I achieved that, but that's obviously resulted in this, a car that is unfinished, needs lots of things taken back off of it to then be redone, done properly, and then finished. So yeah, the car is in this state, and it's not really anybody's fault but my own. And I hope that you guys still want to like tune in and see it get finished. I should also mention that nothing about this car is new or revolutionary or special. High radius cars have been done so many times, especially in Japan. This is barely even high radius, it's just more radius than stock. But it's my car, and it's what I wanted to do with it, and I love it, and I know some of you guys love it too. So yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know when I'm going to upload a video again. I'm just going to keep saying that anytime I upload a video, because I hate making promises and then I don't follow through with them, which I've done a lot. So yeah, thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for tuning in to this video. If you want to unsubscribe because you hate me, go right ahead. I should also mention, like, I'm making another YouTube channel that is not this. Still cars, but cameras and cars. It's called Drive and Shoot. So if you like cameras, you like photography, and you like cars, or you like one of any of those things, tune into that. Till next time, love you.